Welcome. What's up, guys? Sorry, technical difficulty there. So, I'll get to the title of this video after some of the other business here. Wrapping up Chesty Puller, when he was over in Korea. Korean War videos, those are all dropping off. Those will be kicking up soon. A lot of stuff on the Frozen Chosen. As you know, the 2-7 were there. I mean, shit, everybody was there. That was a major, nasty fight, But yeah, he gets getting his 5th Navy Cross and everything like that. It just blows my mind, man. Reading the more about Chesty, it's like good hell. But man, just hell of a Marine. Hoorah, man. Hoorah. But so anyways, down to business here. So we got that wrapped up. Gunfather on Benjamin Tyler Henry, lever actions. The unique thing about lever action rifles, they were invented in the United States. You look at shotguns, you look at revolvers, you look at your semi-automatic pistols. I mean, revolvers, England, semi-automatic pistols were like Germany, Austria, that area of the world. I mean, just as far as it all goes, lever action is just, it's as American as it gets. And with the United States, although our country's not very old, what little bit of history we have, we do tend to hang on to, like we have our Wild Wild West, and we have our outlaws, and we have all that type of stuff. Cavalry, horses. We didn't have knights in armor. We didn't have, that type of stuff. But, I thought reading about it, I don't know, it's exciting. I mean, when I was young, my first BB gun, of course, was the classic Red Ryder lever action. And as I got older, Marlin 22, shot my first deer with, 30-30. Lever actions have always just, been around. I love them. One thing I don't like is when people put scopes on them or try to make them look tactical. But I'll have that coming out, and because it's the new time of year, shooting videos and stuff like that, we'll do Stay Off the X. What I'm going to do is we're going to just start at the beginning again and re-up, train, practice, record. All the drills will be recorded. I'll have all that stuff. You guys are always more than welcome to use any of my content for free. That's it's never going to cost money. I'm not going to copyright strike people because I think that's bullshit, and the whole point of my channel is to get firearm history, safety awareness, and everything like that out there. Youth safety, we'll be doing some more of that stuff too. I think it's important, but I'll get to the funny part with the title of this video. So one of the longest standing jokes, and I always joke about it all the time with people, like, oh man, the reason I got, I've got my AK, and the reason I've got this shotgun or whatever is because I'm compensating for something. And, a lot of people like to do that. They think, gun grabbers especially, they always like to talk about people who own firearms aren't happy with the size of their penis. And well, turns out there was a study with psychological evaluations and research and all that stuff. My wife pointed out to me, and I laughed my ass off. I was like, no, this can't be real. And she's like, no, look it up. I spent all night looking it up, and I read probably 10 different studies on this. People that own firearms, especially men, are more likely to be satisfied with their sexual performance and the size of their member. That is funny. And so, I'm looking at these researches, and I'm just thinking, wow, well, there goes the joke on that, at least, I mean, that's really not a whole lot, but it's like, now the only thing we can really say or think of when liberals are making fun of people who own firearms about their penis is, you guys just want to talk about dudes' penises, man. It has nothing to do with that. Look at the facts here. Now, of course, there's probably dudes that are trying to compensate. I'm not saying there aren't. But I think that's fucking hilarious, man. I laughed. Let me pull it up here. But I believe it was University in Texas was one of the places that did this study, and oh my gosh, man, it's just freaking hilarious. I mean, you guys are gonna get a kick out of this one. Study. Let's compensate, and then I'll drop all the different ones, so you guys can look them up on your own too. But let's see here. Compensate. But all right. Where are we at here? Guns and manhood size. New study deflates compensation theory. This one's on New Atlas. So, researchers finally investigated a widely held belief that men are more dissatisfied with the size of their penis or more likely to own a gun, and the results are not what they expected. I mean, this is so freaking funny. Researchers from the University of Texas, San Antonio, for the first time tested this hypothesis, assumption long held in popular culture that men are dissatisfied with the size of their penis or more likely to own a gun. Now, although the association between penis size and personal gun ownership has been, has escaped any direct empirical analysis, said the researchers, primary hypothesis derived from psychosexual theory of gun ownership stated that men who were more dissatisfied with the size of their penises are more likely to personally own guns. The researchers used data from 2023 Masculinity, Sexual Health, and Politics survey. Primary purpose was to document the intersection between the two. So, and then they set their hypothesis with 1,840 men by asking them personally if they owned any guns or firearms, any semi-automatics, fully automatic, or any carbine military-style rifles, and how many they owned. And so they assessed penis size satisfaction, asking participants to indicate their overall level on a scale of 1 to 7. Completely dissatisfied 7, 1 is completely satisfied. Respondents were asked whether they'd ever used any enlargement methods such as pumps, weights, stretching exercises, supplements, creams, or surgeries. And of the men who participated in the study, 43% of the men reported personally owning a firearm, 11% reported owning any military-style rifle, black rifles. Participants reported low levels of dissatisfaction with their penis size, and only 7% of the men had used a method of enlargement compared to the other ones. Ding, ding, ding. How funny is that shit, man? I can't, that just cracks me up. Our analysis consistently failed to support the hypothesis, the researchers said. Instead, we found the rates of gun ownership were similar for men who had attempted penis enlargement and men who had no experience with penis enlargement. We also observed that men who are less dissatisfied with the size of their penises are more likely to own guns across all outcomes, including any gun ownership, military black rifle ownership, and the total number owned. Oh man, that's hilarious. So while the association of size dissatisfaction and gun ownership was strongest among men 18 to 29 and 49 to 50, it was weakest 60 and over. Researchers suggest that one explanation might be the decline in testosterone at 30, followed by a rebound at 50. Alternatively, they say that the social constructionist theories of gender may apply. It's a masculine thing. Okay, that's been going on for quite some time, right? Dudes like guns, dudes fight wars, right? That's just kind of how it's been throughout history or whatever. Cultural definitions and portrayals of masculinity vary dramatically across lifespan, and men may think differently about their bodies, including their penises, before 30 than they do later in life. Either way, it's good to finally put this issue to rest. So, and you can continue to go on with the stats. I just think that's hilarious. So gun grabbers, when you're singing about peepees and talking about dudes' wieners and stuff like that because they like guns, the only thing you're really doing at this point is talking about dudes' wieners, man. So, I mean, they've tried to associate firearms, as a phallic-y type symbol, which, they're kind of cool. I guess it looks like it could be a member. But, hey, welcome, Roger. Thanks for dropping in. But, going forward from that point, I just think that's like the funniest thing, because the results were the exact opposite of what they were trying to go for on this. There you have it. And there's all sorts of funny movie quotes and jokes and things like that to go across with it. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Superbad. Bill Hader and Seth Rogen are these two cops in it. And they've got McLovin at the bar, and McLovin's like, "What's it like to carry a gun, man?" And then Bill Hader's character or whatever, he goes, oh, it's like having two dicks, except one can kill somebody with it. There's always the funny humor with that, but who would have ever thought scientists would prove it, that dudes that buy guns are happier with their body, happier with what they have going on downstairs than the people that don't. So the people that don't, that complain about it now when they talk shit on it, is that because they're dissatisfied with their own and that's the only thing they can come up with to talk shit on people who like firearms? I don't know. So there you have it, guys. That's some fun, kind of goofy Sunday info for you. And then, like I said, I'll post all the links and everything like that for you guys. But man, I about damn near laughed my ass off reading that. And God bless Texas and San Antonio. Damn, it's windy here. In San Antonio for doing that research, because quite frankly, man, the guys that did that research, I would feel awkward asking a bunch of dudes the size of their wieners and stuff like that. I could ask them what kind of guns they have all day and talk about that shit left and right, man. But I don't know. That's funny one for me today. Other than that, I don't really have a whole lot more going on. I've been looking to buy the M45. I still haven't been able to find one that's at a reasonable price with the USMC cut into the side of it. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes from that point. Yeah, God bless my wife, man. She's the one who showed me that article, and I about, just laughed. We were yesterday. We were like out. We took our kids to Sioux Falls to go look at the waterfalls and everything like that they have there. We were having a picnic and the kids are off playing, and my wife's like looking at her phone and she's like, "You're gonna laugh at this article I found." And I thought, bullshit, no way. It had to be written by a dude that likes guns, something like that. It's gonna be biased, and no, it wasn't. So that's really all I got today, folks. But you guys enjoy your Sunday. I'll have more info on Chesty Puller getting dropped. One thing with the Frozen Chosen War, there's so many Medal of Honors, just on the episodes I did about the 2-7 Marines, during their rotation on that combat deployment, there was 3 Medal of Honors awarded. One of them was a corpsman who was attached to the unit. And then there was a couple of the other ones. This one, see, now that we're covering, because Chesty's over the entire first reg when he went to Korea. So there'll be a bunch of other Medal of Honor recipients, we'll be covering in it. The Korean War, even though it was very short, Chesty wasn't there for a long period of time. There's just so much that went on in that battle, and on top of that, covering the funny quotes, because Chesty, being a salty Marine, in your face, up your ass, we're going to do this. And he was a hard hitter. I mean, he would be out there with his man, being a colonel out there in combat, and that just shows you the kind of character he had. But he wanted people who were tough. There's quotes where he's saying, "Take me down to the brig where the real Marines are at, get those guys out. We want them fighting with us. They shouldn't be locked up. They're all surrounded, and it's like, fuck, these guys are closing in on us. We're screwed. We got to hold off on it." And his response is this: "Good. That way we can at least know where they're all at. That simplifies our problem." I mean, so you have a leader like that who flat out, worst case scenario is possible, and he's got morale up so hard. It's just unbelievable. And like, Chesty Puller was not a very tall man. They called him Chesty because when he walked, his chest kind of stuck out more and kind of went down in. I mean, and it's just like the amount of moxie this dude had. I mean, he is like if you think about Marine, you think just this guy right here. And, he's smart as hell too. But I mean, it's just reading all the accounts about this man, and it's just like, I wish there were people like that still. And unfortunately, with the United States, I kind of worry about a lot of stuff, to be honest with you guys. But Frozen Chosen, people losing their toes, getting gangrene, frostbite, North Korea. I mean, it's a nasty area to be fighting in. ET phone home, please. Oh. You know what though? I don't know about ET phone home, Patty. I think I think the alien ships and stuff like that, I want to say that they're already home. They're from the United States. We've got weird orbs flying around the country left and right. So maybe on your 5G network, hit them up. But with Chesty, uh, the one thing I couldn't find a ton of information, and the hardest part, which was his brother that had gotten killed. He was shot by a sniper. See, I didn't, in all my time and whatnot and studies, I knew he had a brother. I knew his brother was in. I didn't know he was killed over in Guam though. But that's kind of sad. However, we'll cover some more of that type of stuff as well as it goes. But how many guns have I got? I don't know. Somewhere 30, 40 maybe. AK with a bump stock. That's cool. What kind of AK is it? Would you get Norinco or actual AK Kalashnikov or what? I'm curious, Patty. What AK with a bump stock? I mean, those are AKs are awesome. You can beat the hell out of them. You can shoot them nonstop, man, and they'll go forever. I love AK. I'd take an AK over an AR any day. But I like that 7.62 round. I just think it's freaking wicked. I don't, 5.56, sure, but NATO rounds, I don't know. They're okay, I guess. But KC gunner. So yeah, AKs are cool. Believe it or not, one of the most budget. How about HK G36? Those are sweet. Oh, I love the HKs. HKs are awesome. Way sweet rifles, man. I mean, G36, that's one of those rifles where I've only shot maybe 3 of them. I don't own one. I wish I did. There was a time I was going to purchase one at a gun show, and I was okay. I'm going to think about it, and then when I went back, guy sold it, so I was pretty bummed out. Oh, thanks, Patty. Well, I appreciate that. I try to be a decent person. I got my faults like everybody else, but just a redneck. So just a dude out here in South Dakota. But other guns that are cool. For a lie, I always tell a lot of people, if you're looking to get into 7.62, the SKS. I mean, you can buy those. I've got 2 of them. You can buy a barreled receiver for them. You can do your own put it together crap, or just buy one whole, whatever. Usually under $500, but they shoot 7.62. They're semi-automatic. If you like to put all that customized crap on them, whether it be a polymer stocks with folding and front grips and all that good junk, you can. There's chassis you can buy for them. I think it's like the Sabertooth, some guy over in Canada that makes those. You can have it shipped right to your door that are pretty dope. I don't know, but that's just some stuff to take into consideration. And in fact, I like the SKS because when you don't have a lot of money, that 7.62 ammo is dirt cheap to buy, with all the steel casing and everything like that. But, I mean, recommendation wise for starter rifles and stuff, and you don't have a lot of money, I'd say go for that one. I mean, there's a lot of companies like Anderson Manufacturing or Palmetto. Oh yeah, dude. Benelli M4s are awesome, Patty. Way sweet. I love the Benelli M4. That, seeing the Marines breach with those things and whatnot, man, it's so freaking awesome watching those. Semi-automatic shotguns, once you switch to those, it's hard to go back to pumps, I'll tell you. Maybe that's because I'm getting older too, I don't know. But Benellis are sweet. I like Franke. It's made, under Benelli, but go fishing, you're wasting life chatting about this. Yeah, you're right, man. And I would go fishing, but it's freezing ass cold out, or I would. I mean, we just barely got the ice broken up off the river. But, I mean, the Benelli M4, I bought the Franke Affinity, back in 2017 or 2018. I use it for my duck hunting and geese. But I mean, I love it. It's smooth. I love, you know, just the bolt on it when it kicks back, the recoil, everything like that. You know, it's got a little bit of weight in the front of it too, so it's nice and doesn't have a whole lot of muzzle lift when you shoot. And you know, that kind of changed everything for me. I mean, you know, I like shooting over and unders because I do trap and stuff like that, but you know, or out pheasant hunting even. But yeah, man, semi-automatics, Benelli and Franchi, I love their stuff. So I'll subscribe. Good stuff. All right. Well, thanks, Patty. I appreciate that. Everybody else listening, I appreciate you guys for all tuning in. Anybody that watches the replay later. And like I said, you're all more than welcome. Use my content. I don't care. I'm not going to copyright strike. Just get it out there and do what you can with it. Take care, guys. Enjoy your Sunday.